Today we are going to study network theory, and the first chapter is classification of sources. As we know that the sources are very important part of the circuit, and there are the devices which supply the power to the circuit. So in classification of in classification of sources, as we can see that sources are of two types mainly: independent sources and dependent sources. Independent sources are represented by a circle, and dependent sources are represented in a parallelogram. As the name states, independent sources are sources which has the constant value, and dependent sources are the source value is depending on any other parameter or any other value of the circuit. Independent sources are of two types: voltage source and current source. Independent voltage source is as represented by this. In a circle, plus and minus shows the direction of source, and V shows the value of volts or the voltage source. Two types of the voltage independent sources, ideal and practical. As I stated that the independent voltage sources has the constant value. That means जब भी हम इस सोर्स को सर्किट में इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे तो लोड या करंट में कोई भी वेरिएशन हो, इसके पॉइंट्स के क्रॉस, these are 2 points of the voltage source, as we can say A and B, here also A and B. तो सर्किट में हम कोई भी चेंज करें, करंट में कोई भी वेरिएशन आए, उसका इन पॉइंट्स के पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस पर कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ेगा. द सोर्स विल मेंटेन द वोल्टेज डिफरेंस अक्रॉस दिस ए एंड बी एज वी वोल्ट्स. इन दोनों पॉइंट्स के बीच का पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस जो है वो वी वोल्ट्स ही रहेगा, भले सर्किट में कोई भी चेंज हो या नहीं हो. सेम इन इंडिपेंडेंट करंट सोर्सेज, द डायरेक्शन ऑफ करंट विल रिमेन फ्रॉम ए टू बी एंड द वैल्यू ऑफ करंट विल बी आई. चाहे हम सर्किट में कोई भी चेंज करें, ए और बी के पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस में कोई भी डिफरेंस आए, चेंज आए, इट्स इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ दिस, करंट की वैल्यू आई ही रहेगी और इसी डायरेक्शन में रहेगी. एंड टू ब्रॉड क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ दीज इंडिपेंडेंट सोर्सेज, आइडियल एंड प्रैक्टिकल. Ideally, as I told you, and practically there is some internal impedance is introduced. Like if we are using cells or batteries, in that there is an internal resistance of battery that also comes in the part of circuit. Like if we are saying that it is a battery of E volts, and these are A and B, EI and RI. These are internal voltage and internal resistance of the voltage source. Now come to the other part of sources, that is dependent sources, and these are represented by a parallelogram. As the name states, dependent source, it means its value depends on any other parameter of the circuit. First is voltage controlled voltage source. It is also called voltage dependent voltage source. As the second part shows the type of source, it is a voltage source, that's why plus minus is mentioned, and the value will be in volts. Voltage controlled means its value depends on the voltage of any other branch of the circuit, and that is given by VI. VI is the voltage across any other element of the circuit. For example, we draw a circuit in this is a ideal or independent voltage source, and this is a dependent voltage source. As we can see, its voltage value is depending on I1, and I1 is the branch current of branch having resistance R1. So it's a voltage source and its value is depending on current I1. So it is a category current controlled voltage source. This third category is this. So it's current controlled voltage source, and in the same kind, these are the types of Dependent sources, voltage controlled current source means it is a current source whose current is depending on voltage of any other branch. Voltage controlled voltage source, it means it is a voltage source whose value depending on the current of any other branch. And the last one is a current source whose value is depending on current of any other branch. Here the small I represents I is the dependent variable. It means the source value is depending on the value of I branch. So this is all about the sources and types of the sources which are being used in the network theory or circuit analysis.